As I'm sitting here recording this, the price of gas has actually dropped quite a bit, from 3 and some change to 2 and some change. Come here, Noodles. Come here, I gotta brush you. The school is back in session, the summer driving season has ended, and with it, the pricey summer blend. More supplies have come to the market, no doubt spurred by the profit motive, and I guess the guys at NYMEX have finally figured out that when Iran's leader, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, opens his mouth, it's not necessarily to start a war, but to jack up the price of crude so he can put more money in his pocket. I think it should be lower still. I mean, I know global demand is really high, but I believe in the power of the market to set the correct price. But while I may believe in the power of the market, I can't really control it. What I can control, at least according to the United States Constitution, is Congress. And if you've been watching any part of this program, you've probably recognized that I'm not very happy with Congress, either under the Clinton administration or under the Bush administration. I think it took an enormous amount of gall for these guys to hold congressional hearings on price gouging by big oil when none of these congressional folks wanted to recognize, much less try to lessen the effect of congressional actions on the price of gas. And when there is proposed legislation that would, for example, permit big oil to drill somewhere, it's opposed as a sop to big oil. Well, if big oil is able to drill for more crude oil, if they get more supplies to the market, the price drops, their profit drops. That doesn't seem like a sop to big oil to me. Overwhelmingly complex environmental regulations have artificially restricted supply, balkanized the market, and made us more susceptible to price shocks. And ethanol, talk to me about ethanol when it can stand on its own without government subsidies. Are there benefits to ethanol? Yes, but would we be putting it in our cars if the government didn't make us? Probably not. I don't like subsidies, and the Energy Policy Act of 2005 is full of them. Subsidies send the wrong pricing and cost messages to the market. Subsidies also have a tendency to go to those guys who are buddy-buddy with members of Congress. I mean, some of the ethanol producers who are picking up government subsidies, they are as big oil ever was. Of course, it's ridiculous to even talk about elimination of subsidies on ethanol, because ethanol comes from corn comes from Iowa, and Iowa is where the first presidential caucus is held. And taxes, our gasoline taxes funded this year's $286 billion transportation bill. I happen to think that if you have $286 billion sitting around to spend on transportation, you probably have too much taxpayer money. But if you've got additional monies to spend on 6,371 earmarks, earmarks are the little pet projects of congressmen that nobody knows about so they don't get a lot of scrutiny, then I think you've got way too much money. For me, the main idea is let the market decide. I know the market wants big cars and powerful engines, but the market also wants clean air and fuel efficiency. Nobody wants to sit next to some smoking, hulking wreck at the stoplight. I'm not calling for an elimination of environmental regulations or even a rollback. I'm not opposed to gasoline blends. I'm opposed to 18 of them. I want a more streamlined, more rational approach. And we already have certain regulations that are already in place and working. CAFE, for example, those are, you see the stickers on their car when you're out shopping around for a new car, and they're government mandated regulations in terms of how much energy efficiency that car has to get. Now, maybe next time Congress shouldn't leave a huge loophole for SUVs, but that's what happened. What I want is a rebalancing of our environmental needs with our economic ones. A rebalancing that takes into account huge global demand, but also takes into account the fact that the energy industry has spent an enormous amount of money complying with pollution regulations. I want a rebalancing that takes into account how important energy pricing is to our future economic growth. And it's that future economic growth that creates the jobs that we all need. That's my show. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.